guys, and welcome to the first episode of Keep It Gay Q&A. As many of you know, I'm a psychotherapist and coach, and I work with gay men and have for a while. And I get a lot of questions. I've gotten questions through this project, and I get questions in person about life stuff, about relationship stuff. And I thought it would be nice to have a space on here where you guys can ask me questions and I can answer those and we can have a dialogue about those things. So I have some questions I've already gotten. And if you'd like to send in your questions, you can do that to contact@invincibleloveproject.com. So let's get started with today's questions. Both of them are about relationships. So the first question is, I caught my partner flirting with someone else online, sending explicit texts and photos. I don't believe he has the intention to meet this person, but I feel like he's crossed a line we have not discussed. He doesn't know that I know. What should I do? Okay, so I think the first thing that comes to mind is that this is an opportunity to have a conversation about boundaries and trust in the relationship. And that goes both ways. For the question asker who came across this information, I'm not sure how you came across it, but if you were creeping or you were pushing boundaries yourself in getting this information, then that needs to be part of the conversation as well. It sounds like there's a good level of trust in the relationship already. So what you want to do is continue to build on that. That's the place that you're starting. That's the intention that you're going into this conversation with is, hey, we already have trust. I want to continue to build that. Let's talk about what that looks like, what your expectations are, and what boundaries we want to have in place. Boundaries as far as how you guys are in relationship with other people, and boundaries about personal information and privacy. So I'm not sure again how all of that played out, but both of those things are really important conversations to have, and this is really an opportunity to do that in your relationship. The other thing that I think about is having this conversation, creating the space to have the conversation and doing it, setting the stage for it so that it can be heard and it can be taken in the spirit in which you're intending it. So you know your partner better than other people do, certainly better than I do. So knowing that, what sets the stage for that information being able to be heard from you and for this to be a mutual conversation. So that generally looks like not bringing this up next time you're irritated or next time they do something that feels like it's a violation of trust, but setting up a time where you can have this conversation on neutral ground where you're really coming together. Okay, so next question. I'm a gay man dating a bisexual man. Is it rational to be insecure about faithfulness, or am I furthering stereotypes within the LGBTQ community? How do I talk to him about this? Okay, so two words stand out to me in that question, and one is faithfulness and the other is insecurity. So I think we're talking about faithfulness in the context of your relationship. I don't know exactly what your relationship looks like, but if you've agreed to be monogamous or to have conversations about sex outside of the relationship before it happens, if there is a worry about unfaithfulness, then that really comes down to trust. And you trust your partner or you don't trust your partner, whether they are bisexual or not. So if you think about them and you think about their character, are they someone who have shown you that they are worthy of your trust? Are there things that they haven't done that you need them to do? So these are conversations that you can have with them. I think removing the bisexuality piece, you want to have a conversation about trust if there are things that need to happen, things that you need to build more trust in the relationship. The insecurity piece is probably an inside job. Again, if there are things that have happened that have made you insecure, then those are worth talking about. I think oftentimes we feel insecure because we are comparing ourselves to partners, or sexual or otherwise, that our romantic partner could have. And that's a really slippery slope. Whether those are men or women, there's always going to be somebody who makes us insecure if that's the bar that we're holding. So we want to move back from that, and we want to move toward having conversations about trust, about what we need in the relationship to feel secure. And, I think, speaking of stereotypes in the LGBTQ community about bisexual men, I think that there are plenty of those to go around. And so we want to be mindful of those too, like you mentioned. I think being with our partners as unique individuals and being in relationship with folks whose character and values align with our own is much more important than how they identify. So thanks for these questions, guys. Feel free to shoot me questions at contact@invincibleloveproject.com, or you can put those in the comments below. If you have any additional ideas or thoughts or questions about today's questions, you can pop those in the comments below. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next week.